finally reduce the sharp edges between Francophone and Anglophone and try and consolidate our partnerships as one region. There will be private sector engagement. We're trying to get the highest level of participation from African entrepreneurs, business people, and investors, and to see how we can consolidate that position. I have talked to colleagues around the continent, and we are making very good progress on colleagues that will be attending. We will also host the 4th EAC COMESA SADC Tripartite Summit this year, which is expected to significantly advance the regional integration agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, regional peace and security remains a core focus of Kenya's foreign policy. Stability in the Horn of Africa and the Great Lakes region is inseparable from our own national security, economic prospects, and development trajectory. Kenya, therefore, remains actively engaged in regional and continental efforts to prevent conflict escalation, strengthen governance, and build resilience in fragile and conflict-affected areas. In the Great Lakes region, Kenya has played an active role in efforts to reduce tensions and advance dialogue among parties in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Together with His Excellency Emerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, I co-chaired several EAC SADC summits, which culminated in the merger of the Nairobi and Luanda processes, strengthening coherence and reaffirming regional ownership of this peace framework. In December last year, I also witnessed the signing of the Washington Accord for Peace and Prosperity between the governments of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, marking an important diplomatic milestone. Kenya maintains that international initiatives, including the Washington and Doha processes, must reinforce and remain aligned with a consolidated African-led framework to support sustainable outcomes. In Sudan, Kenya remains deeply concerned by the ongoing conflict and its grave humanitarian consequences. There cannot be any military solution, in my very honest opinion, to that conflict. An inclusive process, a civilian-led intervention that brings parties on board, in my opinion, is the only viable path forward. I have had a candid conversation with friends across the continent, with friends across the globe. I have brought up this issue with President Trump. I have brought up this issue with President Macron. I have brought up this issue with the new Chancellor of Germany. My minister here has been to the UK. We have had many engagements. It is still my and Kenya's concern that the situation in Sudan is grave. It is very serious. And global attention must be focused in Sudan, because what is going on in Sudan is completely inhuman. And the international community must do whatever it takes to make sure that we take charge of that situation. Kenya, we will play our role. We have offered a place for dialogue here in Nairobi. We have offered corridors of humanitarian support where it is needed. We have serviced Sudan in the past from Lokichogio Airport here in Turkana. I have made all that available to the international community. and we will play our part in making sure that we deal with the situation in Sudan. In South Sudan, Kenya reiterates its call to all parties to fully honor their commitments under the revitalized peace agreement. I did speak last evening with President Salva Kiir, and hopefully we will be able to have a meeting later this week or early next week, because the Tumaini initiative, that was, in my opinion, a viable pathway towards resolving the issue in South Sudan, was sabotaged by political interests. Sudan has finally come back to say maybe we should relook at it again, and I am very open to working with South Sudan in making sure that Kenya supports the peace efforts in that sister country, and we look forward to working with the Troika and all the other partners that are involved in South Sudan. I know there is a feeling by colleagues and partners that everybody is concerned about South Sudan, except you know who. In Somalia, Kenya continues to encourage constructive dialogue between the federal government and the federal member states as the foundation for national cohesion and effective governance. We underscore the importance of predictable financing and a conditions-based transition in the Africa Union support and stabilization mission to safeguard hard-won gains that may go to